Hey guys, welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. I'm Michael. This is the February 5th installment of FebUdaily. What I'm going to do today is I've actually I tried to record this video one time and I was prattling on so much that I went ahead and deleted it and started over. So I've actually been out of work a few days this week because of my knee, and I'm not really able to get out here and do a whole lot in the shop. But what I did want to do was get some of these bevels straightened out. I have 3 knives left to make for a customer. One is already hardened, but I don't know if you can see it. If you look at that, the bevel on that knife is very uneven, so I'm going to regrind that and reharden it, because I want to keep the oiled finish on the knife. I have that one for that customer. I have that one also for that customer. And I ground these bevels here, and that one, I ground these by hand. I ground these with my bevel jig, but my platen was loose, so the bevels got off on it. So that's part of what I did was this morning was I added 2 of these tube nuts underneath the main bar on the grinder to attach the platen to give me more of a positive stop. I could come down probably another inch or 2. Could I come down another? Because that was kind of what I was thinking. If I used that nut, could I come down another 1 and still be on the platen? No, it'll put it right underneath it. So I might cut those in half and still space it down a little more to utilize the entire face of the platen. So I have those to do, and I'm going to be able to use my bevel jig. I got to clean it up a little bit. It's got a little surface rust on it from where it's been, you know, like I said, it's humid here in eastern North Carolina on the best of days. So bare metal tends to rust really badly. I also have this knife to finish. It has a 16-inch blade. It's the longest blade I've ever made, and the bevel on it is, I did it by hand, and like I said, I'm not happy with it. I don't want the knife to go out and have a crooked bevel in it. You know, I want, if somebody says, you know, that I made that knife, I want, you know, people to, you want to do a good job. You want to do a good job for people, even if you're not, billing, even if you're not charging them a whole lot to, make a knife or do a project for them or whatever. You still want to do a good job, because, that's your name, the job you do. So what I'm going to get into here is I'm going to clean up the face of my tool rest, my bevel guide. I'm going to regrind the bevels in these 2 knives, and then I got to find a piece of angle iron long enough, and I will adjust the platen to where I can try to get these bevels straighter. So I'm going to show you how to make bevels on knives, and that may be all that's in this video, getting these knives ground. I do need to harden them. I don't have a quench tank long enough to quench this in, so that's something I've got to work on. I may work on that today. But I'm going to harden these, and they have to be hardened before I can put a handle on them. So, we're going to get into it. Okay guys, that side looks pretty good. This side looks really bad. So I'm gonna take the flatten back off and regrind this side a little bit. Alright guys, I've gone and changed to a 120 grit belt. I've still got a little bit of a whoop-de-doo in the bevel there, but like I said, this is going to be a blackened knife. I'm not happy with it, but we're going to keep grinding. There's going to be no knife left. So, and this one, the bevel on it looks lots better than it did originally. If you ever hear me talking about making a kitchen knife for somebody, I will usually use a piece of flat known steel instead of forging out the knife, because it's easier to start with a flat blank than it is to forge out a knife from unknown steel. And originally when I took on this project, and I actually hadn't intended on making 3 more knives, I was making the customer a knife that he was going to be able to use to split the breastbone of the hog with. I did a video on making that knife. That was the first knife in the new forge. And the intention was to make him a knife that he couldn't break with a hammer, you know, beating on the spine with a hammer. And he asked me to make him 3 more knives. So I'm going to find a piece of steel. We're going to see what we can do with this one. And we're going to go from there. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to pull the platen off first. Try to get this edge, the spine smooth. And then we're going to come back. But other than that, the other two are ready to harden. And, well, one has already been hardened, but I'm going to re-harden it. Since I haven't put that much heat in it, it never got blue, so it never even got brown, so it won't hurt it to, but I'm going to harden it again anyway, so, because I want, like I said, I want to keep that old finish. Alright guys, I think I'm going to stop that video here. Let me get where the light's not shining right in your face. Well, there's lights everywhere. Ain't that unusual. Alright, I think I'm going to stop that video here. It's probably going to run not too terribly long. But like I said, I'm just out here working on the bevels. I got this one pretty good. As you can see, I left it kind of rough forged in some spots. Just because, you know, that's how I like making things. I'm not charging very much for these. I know there's a lot of people that says, you know, you shouldn't charge for blades until you're proficient at making them. But you know, in this day and age, you've got to cover your cost of you know, buying belts, $10 a piece, and pins and everything that you buy. And then there's some people that also think that if you give a knife, it will you know, cut your time with that person. It's just an old superstition, whether you believe in that or not. So if I was making something out of a known steel, I would be getting more for it, you know. And this is why I'm starting to lean towards wanting to make customers' knives out of known steel rather than forging them. If somebody wants me to forge something, that's fine. I like running a forge and whatnot. But anyway, I've got these bevels looking pretty good. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get out here. I've got a piece of 3x3, I think it's 3x3, and maybe 4x4. I'll have to measure it. Then I'm gonna make a quench tank that's long enough to quench this out of. All I gotta do is weld a bottom on it, make sure it's not leaking. Hopefully I've got enough vegetable oil to quench this blade and get these things hardened and maybe get these knives finished this weekend. And at least that'll be one thing off of my plate that is in front of me getting back on working on my car. Before y'all get out of here, just a little update. I did get out here and do a little bit of cleaning today. I've pulled a bunch of stuff out. I've started organizing. I've got all my railroad spikes and farrier rasps and stuff, and spring steel, and this is flat bar and pipe, and there's some pins in there out of some jacks I worked on, some forklift chains, maybe for future forging stuff. And I haven't got any further than that. I need to get a chop saw blade. This is actually enough of this. It come off of a forklift off of a 589 transstacker, and I've done some forge welding that for some pattern welded stuff. I actually made a knife out of this right here. So I've got 3 more pieces of that to make some stuff out of. I just got to get the time to do it, guys. Right now I want to get back on that 50 and get it done. So I may pedal out here a little more this afternoon getting stuff in, but I mean getting stuff put up. Anyway, like and subscribe. I apologize, this video is kind of off topic for the automotive stuff for the automotive guys, but and like I said, tomorrow's video will be putting handles on, and it may even be, I mean, it's going to be quenching and then handles, and maybe going ahead and finishing the knives. And like I said, I'll be tickled to death to get that off of my plate. I know the guy that wanted me to make these knives has been waiting for 3 months, so 4 months. A while since September, or maybe before then. I don't know, man. I got so much going on, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Anyway, y'all like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.